Hey everybody, welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And I want to talk with you about making a connection. And if that's what I'm going to do, I need a little spice. Now, what does that mean? Sit right there. We'll be right back.
Expert Talk is sponsored by Pod Nation TV, the podcast to broadcast network.
Hey, welcome back. Yeah, you heard me right. I want to talk about making a connection in personal relationships, in your business. Nothing moves forward if you're not making a connection out there in the universe. So who do we talk to about something like that? My good buddy, Cinnamon Alvarez, and she is here. Hey, Cinnamon, what's happening?
Hey, excited to be here. That's what's happening.
I'm excited to have you here too. We had a little technical difficulty, but we got this. Let's go.
Right.
Okay, making a connection. You and I made a connection almost 2.5 years ago, I think it's been now. And, you know, it's been fun ever since. It was awesome to honor you at the Now Honors. Thank you again for being our motivator of the year. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about making a connection. What does that mean to you?
Yeah. So what it means to me is that we spend a lot of time working in our career. And when you go up the ladder of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, after your basics are met, I think that we really are striving for love and connection and making a difference in altruism. And so for me, what I think is really important and what I'm actually taking on for the world is having everyone know that their work they do, where we spend our most time, and every single thing we do, it makes a difference in the world. So for me, making a connection is our desire and honoring that desire to make a difference in the world. And I think it's possible in everything we do, especially business. And I think that that's actually the key of what makes a business really successful.
And I think what's the key of what you just said is it's possible, because so many people think it's not possible. I'm not Cinnamon. I'm not Tigo. I'm not, Grant Cardone. And it's like we all had to work our way. And I don't know about you, but I'm constantly working to move forward and move forward. If you just stay in that little box saying, you're not talking to me, then guess what? I'm not talking to you. Am I correct?
Well, yeah. And if you buy into that, if you believe that, because that's so interesting you mentioned that. Like I remember, having these like big sparks of inspiration and then almost talking myself out of it. Like, who do I think I am? Right? Like, oh, I'm not ever going to be equivalent to Martin Luther King Jr. or, to some of these people who've really made an impact in the world. But I do truly believe that in our own way, which is funny, my name is Cinnamon, in our own spice, right? It's like we're all different flavors. Spice. That we're all gifts to the world, if you believe anyway. And like, what is this purpose and the meaning of life? And so yeah, I think that we separate. We either talk ourselves out of that we're something significant and this gift for the world, or we separate and think that work is really just to make money, and then we'll make it to make money, and then I'll make a difference. And I think it's really like present as an opportunity all the time. We just disconnect and we forget that. Totally. And I don't think there's anything we want more, actually.
Totally. I mean, back in the day when I was a sales manager, one of the things to get my team to understand is the hardest door to get through is your own door, because you talk yourself out of, oh, they can't afford it. Oh, they're not going to even open the door. Because I did door-to-door sales back in the day for vacuums. So it's like you talked yourself out of it before you even gave the potential client, the potential customer, a shot at seeing what you had to offer. You were already done and back home and eating bonbons and watching soap operas.
It's so great too that you mentioned sales, because my first mentor, he's passed now, but Paul Schulman was the first person who taught me that all business is a relationship.
Yes.
And right. And all business is sales, but some of us get stuck even in that.
Yep.
But in like, do you want to come off as a used car salesman? No, you'll never be successful. But if you really are coming from a place of listening, of being of service and what that person needs, then you can speak to that. And for me, the best sales have been when I'm just trying to help someone and I don't even know if it's my product or service at all, but I'm genuinely trying to contribute. And then it's like, the reward is bigger than anybody would ever imagine when you come from
There
that.
it is. And I'm so glad that now, I mean, I, dated myself before we went live. We talked about dot matrix printers and but I'm so glad that now it's about relationships, because back in the day when I got started, it was used car salesman to sell hard. It doesn't matter. Get that check, get that contract is where we were. And now it's about relationships. Anybody can get somebody to buy once. That's hardcore sales. Building a relationship, they'll come back and come back. And they may come back for something they don't even know, but they trust you. And they come just asking, can you give me your opinion about something? And even if they don't buy from you or don't use your service, guess what? They become your biggest fan. And they're telling everybody about you. So
like me, right? I'm your biggest fan. Go Tigo.
So it's like building those relationships expand beyond the measure of what you're thinking right now in this moment, in this conversation. And if you can't.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
You mentioned that we aged ourselves before we started, but one of the things that I think is most exciting about the younger generation entering the workforce in the world of entrepreneurship is I think they really are focused on making a difference.
Yeah.
They've already had this connection that supporting commerce is voting with your dollar, and that where you spend is that's the business and the team that you support. And so that's part of what's so exciting about this is some of us were trained that it's all about the bottom line. And I'm not at all saying that the metrics aren't important and that business planning isn't important and, having units of measure and goals. And I'm a big goal setter also. But if you start with that Simon Sinek style why first of like, what's the vision I have for the difference I can make in the world? And you're coming from a place of being of service and of connection, then it's like the rest is gravy, right? It's so easy then. And it's so rewarding then.
I'm going to break right here and say, look, if you're watching this now, rewind and watch what she just said. Listen, you can even turn the camera off. Listen to what she just said. That'll change your life if you can truly connect with that. That's a golden nugget that will change somebody's life for generations to come, their entire family. If you just listen to what Cinnamon, like I said, we need a little spice, had to say today. Cinnamon, before, Alan, he throws up the 2-minute warning, which is coming soon.
There it is.
See, told you. You've been on the show a few times. I know you guys, you want to know a lot about Cinnamon, go look at previous, interviews, but you're an author, you're a speaker, you're a trainer. I mean, and you're an entrepreneur yourself.
Yep.
What's your connection when you're talking with new people? How do you approach that new person, or when someone new approaches you, get them to line up with your mission instead of just, hey, my name is Bob and I want to sell you something?
Yeah. Well, so when I meet someone new, I mean, luckily I've learned to, and I think the only reason I've been in business 20 years and with my first main business, I'm a lighting manufacturer, is that I have really learned to take the high road and to always be listening for what's in it for them. So now I just feel like I'm of the age that I want to be able to hopefully share all my morsels and nuggets and really genuinely be of service. So if it's someone brand new that I meet, I'm listening for what they want. Like, and for a bigger picture, like I'm listening for what their greatest self and how I can contribute to that before I even think about my specific business.
Wow. How does somebody get in touch with you? How do they get your
Yeah.
books? How do they
Mhm.
follow cinnamon and have a little spice in their life?
Well, fortunately, with a name like Cinnamon, it's pretty easy if you Google Cinnamon Alvarez. But you can find me. My latest venture is worldchangemaker.com. My lighting company is a19.com. So I'm Cinnamon at A19. I'm Cinnamon Alvarez on LinkedIn. My book is called Generating Your Own Happiness by Cinnamon Alvarez. It's available everywhere books are sold. I think I'm easy to find if you want to stalk me. And please
She
reach
really
out.
is easy to find. She really is. Thank you so much for hanging out. I can't wait to see what we're going to talk about next month. You are the best.
Thank you. And thanks for all the listeners.
Woo! Hey, everybody, you know what to do. If you're driving down the road, you couldn't write it down. Don't send me a text message and say, what did she say to go? Either Google Cinnamon Alvarez or go to Tigo Direct and type in Cinnamon. We'll connect you across. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you're thinking about how you make connections in the world. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time.